Starting.
All right, we're live.
Da, 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 da. We were just talking about it. We need music.
Yay!
Hey, what's up, people?
We're back for another episode of Stevie and Joe Talk Shit. We still don't have a name for it yet. So.
We don't have a name, but we're going to talk anyway. We're going to keep talking until we're done. That's what we're going to do.
Yes. Right. And I hope my audio sounds a little bit better this time around. I've got a little microphone hooked up, so we'll see.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Sounds great. I think it sounds great.
Very good. This week we're going to be talking about the club scene, where musicians pay to play, things like that. Talk a little bit about horror here and there. I'm going to shamelessly plug something on my end. And we're going to cover, do you want to start off by covering your show in, what was it, Brooklyn?
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's talk about that. So I heard that was amazing.
The Eat Lead stuff, Sunday. We played at St. Vitus in Brooklyn, New York, and that was with two bands. One by the name of Dog Herder, who opened the show. They were amazing.
It wasn't a golden retriever. It was an actual band.
It was I kept calling them Dog Shepherder, Dog Corraller, because I couldn't figure out, and last week we were talking about it, I said it was a band Dog. We're playing with Dog. Yeah, it wasn't Dog. They were people. Okay, and they were good. No, they were cool. They were really a great bunch of guys. We had a lot of fun with them, and the one guitar player on this, he had a little bit of a thing going on there, but he's not there anymore in that band. So anyway, bringing the controversy, right? No, it was cool. They were good guys. So we had a lot of fun with them. Next up was a band called Sex Scenes, and they're out of Wisconsin, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, the abbreviation was WI. So either they were from the game We, or they were from Wisconsin, and I'm pretty sure it was Wisconsin. They were a lot of fun. It just good, straight up old style metal hardcore kind of stuff, and it was just a lot of fun. It was Father's Day in Brooklyn on a Sunday. We did not expect to see a lot of people, but people actually came out and brought a nice crowd in the room, and we just had a lot of fun. People we can curse here, right? We're adults, I think. Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah.
I had people yell out, "Eat lead," and I say, "Motherfucker, back." And all of a sudden, it's a thing, "Eat lead, motherfucker," and it's just a lot of fun. The energy going back and forth was so much fun. The energy is picking up between us and the crowd, and the band is starting to have a little bit of a name in the area. I guess people are starting to figure out that we're here. We're not going anywhere. We want to have a good time and play for you guys, and people are coming out to see it. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. Next up is Jag Panzer, the 9th. That's the 9th. That's going to be the 9th. There's another band on the bill, and I'm sure I'm not just. They're great though. I did listen to them. The name escapes me. If Stevie wasn't here, I wouldn't even know how to set half of this stuff up. So my brain, this is a sieve. It goes in one and comes out the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you've got a lot of fun. Coffee. I've got my coffee. So
now we're talking.
So what's going on?
What's going on your end now?
Let's see. So just working my day job nonstop, focusing on that. But I really, really, I need to get my ass in gear and get back down to the computer thing again, which we talked about it last week. Very briefly touched on how much I hate my computer right now and how much it really just needs to be in the trash. But aside from that, once I get the whole computer thing and the situation is resolved, I will be able to get back more focused on the writing. Things are kind of, chilling out a little bit to where I'm not running around like a headless chicken after a ritual. And, that's why I said I'm going to shamelessly plug right here. I've got book 1 in /Viber from myself and co-author Stephen Kosniewski. Currently, we are working on the follow-up to it, /Viber 2.
Awesome.
And basically, that has been on hold since the end of April. All my fault. Bad. I'm bad. It's my fault. Nothing to do with Steven. It's all my fault, 100%, because I have been, I don't want to call myself a slacker, but there's just been a lot of shit going on. And I need to hunker down and recommit myself to a couple projects. But so realistically, if I had to like sit here and try to blow smoke and be like, oh yeah, I'm so busy. No, I'm just being myself and procrastinating. And that's just what it comes down to. I'm focusing a lot more on reviewing things and trying to make my blog more, not really more anything, but less like using space up on the internet, I guess. So kind of focusing on that stuff. And then recently, as everybody knows, I got rid of some social media stuff because that can, having all those voices and shit, that's very distracting. It's just a mess. So cutting out a little bit of social media out of my life and recommitting myself to the writer's life. And that's basically what's been going on with me. Long-winded story there.
That's awesome, because I tend to do most of the talking. Here in my house too. My wife says, "Are you done yet?" I'm long-winded with everything. I mean, look, a squirrel. I'll go running off, and I'll come back and.
There's a lot of ADD on both of our ends here, I think.
Yeah, my wife is Christina, who is Stevie's sister. So I don't know if everybody knew that or not, but that was a connection. We just hung out one night down in Florida when they met, and we talked. She did an interview, and we haven't shut up since.
We're big talkers here. So,
but this is awesome. Because the points of view that we both have, and as the show progresses and as we get into things a little deeper, we're going to start. We'll start tabling maybe an issue tonight. But we're going to be talking, and we want people to feedback too. I really want to get other people.
Yeah. Let us know what you want to hear about. Let us know what you want us to discuss, what you want us to discuss with you. Send stuff in, comment on whatever, whether it be Instagram or Joe's Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Send an email. We want to hear what you got to say. But going back to something that Joe did want to discuss today is the club scene in general, musicians, paying to play, things like that. So why don't you kick us off on that, Joe?
I actually wanted to touch base on it because we played the show Sunday, and it's not disheartening for us to play in front of 5 or 10 people, or 5 or 10,000 people. I've had the privilege of playing in front of some bigger audiences and some small ones too. I played the shows at 2 a.m. in front of the janitors, and you know what? Either one, obviously, the more people that are going to be in the room, the more energy levels are up, and the more things get tense and more fun. But there's a lot going on in the circuit. That's that is my illustrious and very beautiful wife, everybody. That's Christina.
That's my sister.
She's going to drive by, and she's going to be doing another one, I'm sure. And that's fine. She lives here. This is real. This is real life. This is unscripted, and this is here she comes again. I wish there's a cameo. But yeah, something it can be disheartening is a lot of places want bands to play, pay to play by buying tickets, X amount of tickets. Okay, there's nothing wrong in my eyes, with a club making money with a band. There is a lot wrong in my eyes for a club making money off a band, and not giving back as much as they're taking. It should be a growing experience. I mean, I can remember back in the 80s playing. We would walk into a bar literally with a cassette radio, a cassette player, a big boom box, remember boom box, right? And then we would have a tape, and we would take our tape, and we would put it in and we would hit play, and we would be at the bar when we did that, and the promoter would be sitting right next to us, and they would tell you to your face whether or not you were good enough to play in their club, and that was it. And if they deemed you were good enough to play in their club, they would book you there. They would give you a date, right? When you got the date, you'd go back to the club and you would play. And they would charge maybe at the door a cover, and it was predetermined whether you would get a cut of that or not, you know? And if you didn't want it, you didn't play the club. But 90% of the time, the club would give you a cut at the door. This isn't this business. Listen, first of all, if you're in metal, anybody in metal will attest to you. You're not in metal to make millions of dollars. We do this basically for the love of it and the love for the people and the love for the craft.
Yeah, it's the community, it's the passion that you have both as a professional in the genre and as an admirer of the genre, I would say.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. So with that in place, you play the show, you make a little bit of money, and you enjoy it, and the club makes money, and everybody, the fans have a good time, everybody has a good time, and everybody's happy. Nowadays, it seems like the bands are getting less and less. I want to say respect. I would like to say the word respect. It seems like we're just a dime a dozen. Anybody could be in a band today. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, and we're going to throw you in there. You could be playing for 2 weeks, but we're going to put you in there, and you're going to
right. If I can interrupt just for one quick question. When you say that you feel the bands are getting less respect, do you mean from patrons or do you mean from owners, club owners?
Yeah, the club owners and some of the promoters, not, but listen, I mean, I have a great working rapport with a ton of amazing, I've had a very, very, I want to say lucky run with people. It's not luck. There are good people in front of me, and I think this is why I know the difference between these promoters that are really genuine and genuinely care about the bands and care about the music, which is the most important thing. They are the ones that kind of opened my eyes to this, and it made me realize that I was on that wheel for a long time, and I was taking these shows that were, I'm not gonna say where or who, but big ticketed shows, and the venue was making a lot of money, on us, and we were making a pittance in comparison to that. Now, what that does, in my eyes, is it detracts from the band's focus, number one, which is the music, to come in and provide you with the music that you wanted to hear from us in the first place. We want to come out and give you that, and when you put that extra element of pressure onto the band's agenda, in some instances, I've seen bands break up over it, because the pressure is so great. You're under a contract. You have to sign contracts for these things.
Right. And, yeah. That I can imagine it would be contracts are never fun. Like no one ever hears the word contract and goes, oh boy, that sounds amazing. So I imagine it puts an immense amount of stress on people.
Right. And it's not like it's a bad thing for the clubs to want to make, money on the show either. I mean, that's all part of the game. It's a racket, from word one, they want to make money. The bar wants to make money. The band would like to make a couple of bucks if they could.
Of course.
It's okay. Nobody's bashful to say that. You shouldn't be. It's a bit, but at the same time, and for me, it's always been first and foremost about the connection with the fans and the people and your friends and the people that come to see the show and the band. Always first and foremost the music. What the most important thing is the music, and that gets subjugated a lot through that. Again, I've seen a lot of bands, like I said, break up. I've seen a lot of bands get into major arguments and have a lot of setbacks as a result of that. So I'm wondering how the rest of the music population or culture feels about that. I mean, if I'm right or wrong, I would love for people to be able to chime in here and talk to us and tell us, and eventually I'm sure you and I will have that opportunity to build a thing here with, people that can come in here and we can have a live.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think honestly, and I'm not even sure if it's like a genre thing or like a geographical thing, but like geographically speaking, we're 1,200 miles apart. You're in New Jersey. I'm in Florida. So it's like, I know, you know, and I used to dabble in music a little bit myself. You know, I'm a nobody. I'm not anything famous or even close to it. But
I think
oh, thanks. But I do have some friends. You know, I'm not going to name names because they're all here locally, and I don't need any beef with anybody. But anyway, I'll bring up a story, actually a conversation I just very recently had with a friend of mine, and they said that you know they just genuinely enjoy playing music. They don't care if it's in someone's garage, if it's on a stage, if it's at a storage shed. They just genuinely enjoy it. Would they like to get paid for it? Absolutely. But and I know just down here in you know our sleepy beach town, the people that make money playing gigs, whether it be at the club or at a you know a hole in the wall bar, which there's a ton of them around here, but the people that are making money are the cover bands. Not a lot of people want to hear original content here. This is a tourist place. People want to hear, you know, fucking Jimmy Buffett or something stupid like that. No offense to Jimmy Buffett fans, but I can't stand the guy. You know, it's like they want to hear, and if they do want to hear rock music, you know, like Club La Vila, they go there to the rock arena. They want to hear Rage Against the Machine, STP. They don't want to hear, you know, Joe Schmo's 4 new songs off his new EP coming because that's just how it is around here. So I don't know if like from that standpoint if that's very similar to the scene up there. Do cover bands, are they more popular? Do they make more money? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, so I can give you a firsthand account. I was in a cover band up here, and I probably will be again very shortly, called Headkick. Don't snipe it!
No, I almost spit my coffee. Stop.
Oh my goodness! I'm looking at this thing and I realize how fuzzy I am. Oh my God!
Oh
I got
God.
like this.
Yeah, you're gonna look like Justin soon with his big fluffy beard.
No, I'm getting. What is it? What word? What on my face? I have scruff. You say I'm getting. What is it? Pinchy. Yeah, pinchy. I'm getting pinchy. That's the word. Right. I'm pinchy. All right. Anyway. Oh, look, a squirrel. See, I told you. I just run off on these tangents.
That's what we do.
First-hand account of Headcase, the cover band, would be that yes, we made money. And it was fun. But again, I mean, I was playing with guys that absolutely just loved to play. John Hasselbrink from Attacker was the guitar player. Glenn Hasselbrink, his uncle, actually, is a singer for Devil's Harvest. He was in there with us. Joe Bruno from Morbid Saint.
Hey, that's my cousin.
Morbid Sin, not Saint.
Did you know Joe was our cousin?
Huh?
Did you know Joe is our cousin?
Yes, I did. Joe Bruno is absolutely, now he is my cousin as well.
Now he's your cousin too.
My cousin Joe Bruno on the bass
Joe's
there.
awesome. Hi, Joe.
But we did. We actually.
We got too many Joes.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. Believe me, and I know he'll do this. We made some scratch. Okay, there's no big secret, no big lie there. We were doing some boat shows that were a lot of fun. We did some other things that were a lot of fun. We made some scratch, and it was more acceptable for us to do it that way than it was for the original. Now, I was in that band for, I would say, roughly 6 years. Okay. Now I'm gonna retrospect to DTA, which was my pet project for 14 years. That was my baby, and incidentally, they're coming back as well. I'm really excited for that. That was my pet project for 14 years, and we didn't make anywhere even remotely close to half of what the other guys were making. And we loved what we did, though. You know, we enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. But it is a little disheartening, you know, when you work very hard to create your music and never set out with an agenda to create music formulated or specifically for people, but create the music that we want to create and be happy with. and have people pick up on it and run with it as much as they would say a cover from, I don't know, Ozzy,
Right, right.
It's not easy to digest that when you work as hard as you do to try to get that out there. And then these bands come up out of nowhere and they're just like getting all these great gigs, playing everybody else's stuff. And, you're like, wow, man, we'd love to play there too. Can we get, no, can't get in there. It's just the original stuff. The promoters don't want 5 people there. That's why in their mind, that's their premise for selling the tickets. You're going to guarantee us a following. You're going to sign this paper that says you're going to be liable for X amount of dollars per X amount of ticket. And if you don't bring in the tickets, you have to bring in the money. Deal? It's scary. It is.
Do you think, and you're a seasoned musician that's been in the game for years. Do you think that for younger up and comers, younger people that are like, man, I want to be in a band, do you think that they are more likely to be taken advantage of in the club scene?
They can be. It's very, very simple. These promoters, some of them are sharks and they sit back and they wait for, they prey on the younger guys, because the younger guys, they have, and it's funny because we still see that drive, and most of us like to think that drive is apparent in all of us still. You see that energy and that hunger and that, that push for it, and they really want to do it. And the promoters are like the only thing standing in their way. So all they got to do is go through the promoter and they get to the stage, right? But to get to the end game, they're going to pay, and that's where these guys take advantage and make their money. And you know what? It's very disheartening to see that going on. And I've heard tell of it all over the place, for years now. I'm surprised most of us haven't gotten together and done something about it. But again, it's not every day, and it's sporadic. And there are, like I said, most people just steer clear of these guys, and they'll go to different pastures where the promoters actually do care about the bands. Like I'm going to take the liberty to push one guy I work with is Ed Farshti, and his production company is escapes me. Of course, if I don't write it, you lose it after a while, folks. Okay, it just goes to move.
Okay, we got time for you to think about it.
Armageddon Productions. Armageddon.
There you go.
Armageddon. Yep, there it is. I got it. They are absolutely phenomenal. The guy is just the easiest human being to work with. Probably the coolest guy, to talk to, and a great friend, and just a legitimately great promoter. The guy knows how to book a room and to take care of the band and to do a show. So I'm used to that now. I'm not going to go back to the other guy, who maybe, who beat me with the whip. And you're going to sell these tickets, or you know what I mean? You don't want to go back to that. Who would, right?
No, exactly.
I'm sitting on this side of the fence eating cake, and hey, I got a couple of nice ones here. This is good. And I want you to go back over to that side of the fence where you get beat up. No. So we're going to stay here and do the nice thing. And that's what happens. You eventually you realize who the good guys are, and a lot of people just stay away from the bad eggs. But there are a lot of people out there that don't know, how to tell good egg, bad egg. And I think that would be something that we could bring up in a topic and hear from people if they want to tell us, their thoughts on it. What do you think, everybody? Do you think you can tell the difference between a good promoter and a bad promoter? If so, drop it here. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, or shoot us an email. Tell us whatever your communication preferred method of communication is. Just let us know. Like Joe said, can you tell a good egg from a bad egg in the music industry or the club scene? Or what's your opinion on what makes a promoter a good promoter or a bad promoter? We'd love to hear it.
Yep. Awesome. Very cool. So we can table that next time. Maybe we'll get some feedback on that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Whatever we hear, any feedback we receive, questions, comments, whatever, we will always address that in the next episode of the podcast, which seems to me like it's been kind of a weekly thing. So, I know initially we had said it would be like every 2 weeks or, even maybe once a month, but, it's only been a week since we did our last one. So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good. I mean, this is a lot of fun. The guys at HMS are amazing for having us on here and doing this with us. And I mean, we're doing our stuff too here. And, I've been waiting to do something like this forever, and I can't absolutely think of a better person to host with than you. And we're, probably the same person as far as like thoughts. I see the thoughts going back and forth. You pick up on things so quickly.
Yeah. That, it kind of just comes with the territory,
Well, it's awesome. And if you guys have not checked out Stevie's writings, please check them out. Her name is Stevie Copa. She's a phenomenal writer. Please, people, get your asses out there and buy the books because they're awesome. And if you don't,
thank you.
I won't find you. I don't know where anybody lives. I can't even shave, all right? You think I'm going to be able to find you? I don't know nothing about it. Oh, Midnight Hellion. See, look, a squirrel. There it is. Midnight Hellion. Drew, this is your man.
That's awesome.
I'm promoting it. I'm also going to promote another promoter who's Jerry Delsit. He's going to be doing the New Jersey Metal Fest, which is happening this Saturday in New Jersey. And I'm going to the radio station to see him in about now, in a couple of minutes. And I'm not even wearing a watch. Hey, I like that.
No, you can just pretend. I don't have mine on either, so it's all good.
Watch because this way I'm never late either. It's great. I love it. It doesn't show me anything. There's no internet on it. If there is, man, I'm in trouble. Yeah, what are you looking at, Joe? My arm. No, we're not. I'm a little kooky. Anyway, so with that said, I'm going to be heading out in a few minutes, so I might have to keep this episode just a hair shorter than the last one.
Hey, that's all good. Last week I cut it short to go see Hereditary, which was
I don't want to play spoiler, but I'm dying to know, how was it? It was awesome.
Well, I'm not going to give any spoilers. And Rich and Ken are both extremely busy with the site and everything like that, so the reviews aren't up yet on HMS. But spoiler-free review. It was a fantastic movie.
Awesome.
And like I said last week, I went into it blind. I did not specifically know what Hereditary was going to be about. So I kind of went in blind, and it was not what I expected. Like I said, keep an open mind, but it was A+. I fucking loved it. I adored it. The performances by the actors and actresses, everyone involved was fantastic. The scares were legit. Like, they weren't cheesy. They weren't like tropey or played out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you also enjoyed it and you want to talk about it, people, always leave us comments. Let us know. And if you didn't like it, let me know. And I want to know why. That way we can kind of talk about it, debate it maybe.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to check that one out.
Awesome. Yeah, no, let people, if you saw that movie, post it up. Don't be a spoiler for everybody. Just get or no if you liked it. And if you did, I guess tell us why. And we'll try to keep it to a door, not tell anybody what you said. But we want to know. We want to know everything. We also want to know what your thoughts on the promoter situation was. If you haven't listened, then go back and rewind this and listen to it.
Yeah, no fast forwarding allowed.
Oh, you get no pudding. No pudding for you, right? No soup for you. No soup. So everybody, please let us know what you think. We want to hear your feedback. This is going to let us know, two things. One, you're listening, and two, you're listening. That's what we want to hear. So let us know what you're doing. Stevie, as always, it is an absolute pleasure and an honor to be sitting here and talking.
Of course. It's fabulous, as always. I loved it.
Killer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this puppy up, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see if we can get next Wednesday pat down. I'm usually off Wednesday, so it might work out.
Now, all right, so we got. I think we got a date now, and then we're going to have a name. We will name this, and we will name it soon. And when we do, we'll tell you, and we'll have a name.
In the meantime, just follow us to get the links posted. I'm usually posting them on the Breadwinner Facebook page, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm not sure where Joe's posting them, but they're probably all over the place. And thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, guys. Check out the Eat Lead page. Check out Stevie's blog. Check out my Facebook page. Check everything out. Just keep checking and listening, and we love you. Peace out, people.
Awesome. Bye, guys.